Over 90% of the world's educators have been sold the same lie that matching teaching to your learning style is the key to success. It is a near-perfect global consensus. It is also a systemic error. Let's audit the neuromyth that refuses to die, the learning styles. If you've ever been handed a test claiming to reveal whether you're a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner, you've met the educational version of those "which animal are you" quizzes. In other words, one of the most widespread educational stereotypes, dressed up as a scientific test. The idea of learning styles is now a small industry built on a seductive promise. Find your favorite way to learn and solve all your learning difficulties. It's tempting because it checks several boxes. It personalizes education, and we all like feeling unique. It offers a simple recipe for improvement, and it provides a convenient excuse. It's not my fault. It's just my learning style. Like most widespread myths, it began with a simple scientific seed. People clearly have preferences. Some prefer lectures, others diagrams, and some need to move just to stay focused. In the 70s, researchers noticed these preferences and proposed a reasonable-sounding idea. Match teaching to preferences and learning should improve. And so the meshing hypothesis was born. Before research could properly test it, the industry ran with it and turned the seed into stone. Seminars, questionnaires, guides, all built on strong observations, not strong evidence. The classification into types spread so quickly that one crucial detail was lost. Researchers only confirmed that students have preferences, something completely expected. What was never confirmed is that students learn better when teaching aligns with their type. In fact, researchers pointed out something quite intuitive. When teaching is limited to a single format, some students disengage simply because the lesson feels boring. At the same time, when teaching is limited to students' favorite style, the students fail to practice the other skills needed for deeper understanding. The not exactly groundbreaking takeaway being that our preferences, what we call learning styles, mostly help keep us engaged during a lesson. But the real question is, what does the brain actually need to learn? The brain is a multisensory organ. It combines sight, hearing, and touch to build models of the world. There are networks specifically designed for that job, to integrate information from different sensory areas. And when one area doesn't provide enough input, the model the brain builds is incomplete. When you learn something new, combining diagrams, explanations, and practice activates multiple neural circuits at the same time, making the model more stable and accurate. And why does this happen? Because the brain's goal is to understand its environment as quickly and as efficiently as possible. When we encounter something new, from a plant to a new technology, the brain relies on its existing models to explain it. And if the model is one-dimensional, the explanation will also be one-dimensional. Someone who has built mostly visual models will categorize new stimuli mainly by what they see. They may become very good at spotting visual details, but struggle to interpret and analyze them. So the way we prefer to learn is separate from what the brain actually needs to build a complete model. Which means the idea that we learn best when teaching matches our preferred style is not supported by neuroscience. And it isn't even practical. In 2004, researchers reviewing the learning styles literature found that at least 71 different learning style categories had been proposed. 71 learning styles, at least. Which means that if teaching truly had to match each type, the same subject will require 71 different versions of the lesson, which is practically impossible. The myth says, find your learning style to learn better. Reality says, combine different methods, including your favorite ones, to learn better. So why does the myth survive? Partly because it feels true, and partly because it creates the illusion of productivity. Organizing a seminar for visual learners sounds appealing, innovative, and easy. Designing a lecture that integrates multiple forms of explanation sounds less impressive and much more demanding. It is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you only learn through movement, you start avoiding anything that isn't movement. You get worse at those things and then you blame your type. Meanwhile, you keep improving at what you practice through movement simply because you practice them. And the cycle of confirmation continues. One last thing. Accepting that learning styles are a myth does not mean rejecting differentiation in education. People differ in genetics and experience. Naturally, they also differ in their preferences. Good teaching acknowledges these differences by adjusting examples, pacing, and explanations, not by placing everyone into a narrow learning box. Someone who prefers diagrams may indeed benefit from them, but they still need to hear explanations and practice applying the concept. The myth of fixed learning types turns a flexible strategy into rigid instructions. The correction is simple. Don't place yourself or others into boxes like visual learner or auditory learner. Use multiple senses when you're learning something. Read, listen, draw, use diagrams, because combining formats deepens understanding. Preferences are amplifiers for learning, not independent learning systems. And the next time someone hands you a learning style questionnaire, accept it politely and doodle on it in 4 colors while humming. At least you'll get some multisensory practice.